just going to show you guys on how to take it out using a trimming tool. So just get under here, or you can use your hand actually. It does come off quite easily. But there you have it. So then once you take that off, take off the wires coming up here, showing you guys, and then if you look closely, there are 4 screws. So these here are for the screen, and these is for the control panel. So if you just want to screw those, will expose. You can actually pull that out. Yeah. And then that exposes the head unit there. Exposes the head unit there, as you can see. And then all you have to do is remove these 2, and then this will come up this way.
So we've got the old unit out here. We've just pulled out our big plug here, you can see. Now we have to come and get our main adapter kit and plug it in. Now this wire here has to end up obviously going up through here. So we'll tuck it up through here right now. So that's sort of like the hardest part of it, is getting these wires up through here. So it's pretty much only going to stick just up through here. So if I put that up there like that for now, then what you've got is you've got all this here. So you want to take your microphone, plug that. Obviously you want to make sure it's coming back down behind here, and I'll plug that in. We'll take our big main harness, plug it into the main harness coming off the back here. So that's pretty straightforward. Make sure you have that cam lock down when you plug it in, and then when you push it in, it'll come back up like that. Then this again, put that cam lock down, and this will plug into our the other one here at the back. Like so. Yeah, stop recording there, bro. And then we'll grab our new screen here. We just want to do a quick test. So we just want to grab, we've pulled our cable through here. We just want to plug it in. So this big main plug goes up into the top here. So plug that in. Give it a push, and then you grab your purple plug here. That looks like this on the inside. That came out of the factory screen. And we just want to plug that into here. You can give this a little tug to give yourself a little bit extra room on it, and then once that goes in, so then you put those in. You can sort of sit, you can either push it all the way in if you want, but I wouldn't yet. Just I'll sit the unit in there. So that's basically how it's going to look, and we just want to see if power's up fine. Now obviously behind here, this is all plastic and stuff, so if you do have to create a little bit of extra holes in here, you can just drill some holes through the plastic if you need extra room. Now we'll just give the car a bit of power, and we'll see if the head unit boots up here. So you can see we've got power, that's a good sign. Now it's bringing the exact same stuff obviously the factory has on it, because it's working together. So there's just a few things we want to check once this power's on. Okay, so here's our factory one. So straight away it looks a bit better. So I put it in here. So we just wanted to test that it's working and we have sound and stuff. So if we click on my car here, this obviously takes you back into the original one. if this here looks a bit like funny or like blurry or whatnot, come into here, settings. You won't see that, you'll be seeing this. Come into about, go into factory setting, 4/8, BMW settings at the top. This very top one, and try a few of like these different options. You'll like notice if I put it to this one here, and then you press back twice, that'll save it. My car, see how it looks all like funny now? So that's what you could be seeing, and if you're seeing that, we just need to change that. So again, factory setting, 8, into here, set it to which one looks best, which is 3 in this case, back twice, press OK, home. Now that is looking good. Now to get this here is going to work how it used to work. So if we go back to here and we go into the radio, now you want to see that you got your volume coming in, steering wheel controls are working. That's all fine. Now because we're still using the original unit, we have to put this into auxiliary to get this light to work. So I'm going to push media on like the middle console button here, and if we go back up to the screen, you can see it says auxiliary like front. Now if I like tap this, it comes like back into like the Android interface. I've got CarPlay already hooked up here, but for example, if I'm in like here now, it's obviously coming through, and I can turn the volume up and down. I don't get any volume reading coming up on here because it's still coming like through the car's original system, and that's just the way it has to work here because these things are on factory amps and whatnot. So we've got our obviously steering wheel control buttons to skip our songs or whatnot here, so we can bring like Siri to ask things if we push the like speaker button on the steering wheel, that one there, and then we've got volume up and down, select different things, and like phone call.
I can't help with that.
So Siri can't help, so it's fine. And then if we click on mode here, it actually takes us back to the original one, and like FM, and it's actually like working how I used to work in the dash here.
You're invited to Hillside Christian College's Open Day Fete from 10 till 2.
And then again, before you go back to our screen, you have to make sure it's on auxiliary, and then you can tap back into ours, and you've got obviously your CarPlay or Android Auto coming up there. Scroll down from the top, you can come into here. So our Navi just goes to Google Maps. Your buttons in the center console here will sort of work, so still check how those work. So if I push like navigation, you can see on the Android side it's like working like that. Then what you have in here is you've got a Bluetooth, obviously that's pretty straightforward. Apps, you can install like extra apps in here if you need to, but that's okay. So we've pretty much confirmed what we have working. We've got our a sound and our CarPlay. Now the only other thing we have to do now is we just have to check that obviously, start the car up, that our reverse camera is working. So if you're using our aftermarket one, that'll plug into this plug here, and you'll just be running that back. So obviously test that works before you take all the wires into place. If it's like a factory camera and we're going to reverse here, we can see it's working and all our parking sensors are working. The camera on here is kind of being broken, so we can't actually see it, but it is there. So that's all our tests, all done. Now if your car had 2 wires in here, they are little small round ones. You can see they're on these 2 wires here. Now these were actually plugged into the car's factory one back here. What you have to do is you have to unplug them, which is fairly easy. Just put a little screwdriver or a tab under this tab here. It pops up. I pull them out. You might have to cut back a bit of tape to give yourself a length, and plug them into the plug that is our harness patch cable that is going into the back of your factory unit. If you don't do that, you won't be getting any sound or anything because these are your optical cables. So if you have those 2 in here, I'll just make sure to pop them out of the original plug, which is obviously back here. That was your original car plug, and pop them into our one. Again, you lift that tab up there with a screwdriver in the back here, and they'll pull out.
So guys, this here is the Wi-Fi camera. Obviously this will be screwed on to these here, so the GPS and the Wi-Fi camera. You can see. So 4 of these, obviously you'll run them through it, but you can, because this white bit here is actually, you take this out and it becomes sticky. So you can actually put it, place it and stick it onto the back of the aircon vent there. So just make sure it's facing up for the best coverage. Then you also have your USB retention cables over here. this is where you can sort of like just run them out of the back there towards the glove box, and then this obviously sticks to the bottom there. So guys, once all the cables are hooked up, just push the head unit spring back into place. Make sure you tuck all the things back, and then put these back into place. Make sure you run that cord back there, like so. So it's in place like that. Obviously you have a screw, so you have to put the screws there. So you can go ahead and screw the sort of controls in, so you know which one's there, and then obviously put the 2 screws for the head unit back first, and then once the screws are in, you can put it in back the hazard light switch and the locks there, so you just put them back. And there you have it. So that's all completely done. Turn on the car, see if it still works, obviously. As you can see, it works. And there you have it. So now it's working. Obviously that's like the Apple CarPlay. So here for Apple CarPlay, you go on your phone, go onto Bluetooth, settings, Bluetooth, and then so it's here. Our code is, so when you pair it, so for contacts, it's connected, and then it'll ask you, do you want to use CarPlay? Just give it a second to sort of kick in. There you go, so you use CarPlay with Z-Link, yeah. So you say yes, use CarPlay, and then on the screen of the head unit, it should come up with your phone there, as you can see. So then you obviously have your maps and that, and all that, but if you double click the screen, double click, so it goes back to maps. If you just swipe down here, press the home button over here, as you can see, when you go on set, if you swipe to the left, you go on my car, it will obviously have the old, like I explained before, the old BMW unit, as you can see there. But other than that, there she goes. Go back onto, if you wanted to go back onto the menu, you see that's like all the BMW things. And then if I go back, just tap the screen. For Z-Link, you just press a little thing there, and you're back onto the head unit. There you go, guys. Thank you again for watching. Please like and subscribe. Join us for another video soon. Thank you.